Local public agencies, or LPAs, have a growing need and responsibility to the people in their communities to provide more options for the opportunity to safely walk or bike. Among the benefits of walking or bicycling, whether for utilitarian or recreational purposes, are improved environmental and personal health, reduced traffic congestion, enhanced quality of life, and others. The Federal Highway Administration, or FHWA, encourages all agencies to provide safe and convenient bicycle and pedestrian facilities. There is a great deal of flexibility in allowing you to use federal aid funds for constructing these facilities. Let's take a closer look at the bike and pedestrian-related federal requirements to make it easier for you to use these funds. Generally speaking, these requirements apply to and impact three main areas: the planning process, requirements associated with the type of federal aid funds used, and the development and construction of federal aid projects. In urbanized areas of 50,000 or greater, Metropolitan Planning Organizations, or MPOs, manage transportation planning activities. MPOs are required to publish reports each year on the previous year's progress of bicycle and pedestrian-related programs to the public. Agencies responsible for transportation planning activities must ensure consideration is given to integrating safe bicycle and pedestrian facilities into the transportation system. You accomplish this by providing users of pedestrian and bicycle facilities the opportunity to participate in the planning process. If you want to use federal aid to construct bicycle or pedestrian improvements, several types of funds are available, each having specific requirements that apply. For instance, you could use one of FHWA's core funding programs called the Highway Safety Improvement Program, or HSIP funds. HSIP funds are eligible to fund the construction of pedestrian or bicycle facilities, but only if these facilities demonstrate the potential for safety improvement. Other funding programs, such as the Congestion Mitigation and Air Quality Improvement Program, or CMAQ, can be used for bike and pedestrian facilities if the project provides improvements to air quality, among other criteria. You can choose from several eligible federal funding programs for constructing bicycle or pedestrian improvements, provided you meet the specific requirements for use. Your State Department of Transportation or local MPO can help you learn more about these and other funding programs and their associated requirements. You are required to design and construct any federal aid project in accordance with the Americans with Disabilities Act, or ADA, and Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act. The ADA and Section 504 standards apply to the design and construction details for sidewalks, crosswalks, curb ramps, and detectable warnings on any new or altered facilities. In some cases, you may be required to install and maintain audible traffic signals and audible signs at street crossings for the safety and benefit of the visually impaired. While the ADA and Section 504 establish accessible design and construction requirements for projects, additional design guidance exists that should be used for the development of other aspects of your projects. Two documents published by the American Association of State Highway and Transportation Officials, or AASHTO, should be used for the design of bicycle or pedestrian facilities on federal aid projects, unless your state has an equivalent document or guide. The titles of these AASHTO documents are the AASHTO Guide for the Development of Bicycle Facilities and the AASHTO Guide for the Planning, Design, and Operation of Pedestrian Facilities. You must apply bicycle and pedestrian accommodation requirements that depend on the project type and scope of work during the planning, environment, and design phases of your project's development. For example, you must consider incorporating bicycle or pedestrian transportation facilities into all new construction or reconstruction projects. On all types of federal aid projects, you must consider how your project will affect existing bike and pedestrian routes. This helps you and your project avoid having a significant adverse safety impact on non-motorists. In most cases, you won't be permitted to sever an existing major route without a reasonable alternative route either existing or being provided. You may be required to install bike accommodations on federal aid bridge replacement or rehabilitation projects where bicycles are permitted to use the road at both ends of the bridge. While this requirement doesn't specifically mention pedestrians, agencies are encouraged to also incorporate sidewalks with the project, providing a safer path for pedestrians to use. During construction of a federal aid project, pedestrian access should not be reduced unless equivalent access exists. For example, let's say you have a reconstruction project work zone that closes an existing pedestrian facility. In this case, you have a responsibility to provide and maintain an alternative facility, and it must be accessible for people with disabilities. An exception can be made if you are temporarily closing a pedestrian facility during a maintenance project that is of short duration. You should contact your state DOT for assistance any time your project may temporarily close pedestrian facilities. Providing bike and pedestrian facilities will allow people of all ages and abilities to walk or ride more often to more places and be safer while doing so. As you plan, design, and construct your federal aid projects, consider how you can accommodate walking and bicycling to create a low-cost transportation choice for all citizens, regardless of age or ability. Your commitment to investing in bicycle and pedestrian facilities helps meet goals for cleaner, healthier air, less congested roadways, and safer, cost-efficient communities. If you have questions about bicycle or pedestrian requirements for federal aid projects, contact your state DOT for help.